Hey, Brett from Adventure Otaku. Thought today I would do a short video and just talk about the stuff that's going in my kayak while I'm paddling. Let's go paddling. But before we get on the water, it's super hot. It is summer in North Carolina. We need to do sunscreen. That feels like a lot of sunscreen. I think that's good. I'm just gonna put a little. Well, have I got enough there? I don't, because it is a beautiful day. There is not much breeze, so a good day to get wet. Even the water here, though, is pretty warm this time of year. Very hot. I get out on the water by myself, I work on my skills. Today, the goal is turning strokes. Maybe turning and draw strokes. I'll do some sweeps, some bow rudders, and some draw strokes. I think that's the plan. But let's talk a little bit about what's in the boat when I go paddling. And it really doesn't change much. I have a base set of gear that I have in the boat on every paddle, whether I'm working or playing or whatever. And then I may add some things to it. So the base set is all safety stuff. Obviously I'm wearing a PFD and a spray skirt. I wear a spray skirt all year long. In the summer it protects my legs from the sun. In the winter it keeps me warm. Next, on my foredeck, always on the left side, I have a paddle float. Talk about how to use that in another video. I'm sure I've got a video where I talk about paddle float rescues, and a bilge pump. So I've got a solid roll. It's been a while, but I have a solid roll. But just in case, it's good to have those as a backup. I also, on my foredeck, on my bow in front of my kayak, my brain is sliding into sailing terminology, have a short tow with carabiners on both sides. And I use the short tow for a million things. I actually stole the idea for this style short tow from Body Boat Blade, which is a company on the West Coast. I can use it to hold another boat next to mine and just tow them directly in. Or I can use it as a step for someone who can't get into the boat. Or I can use it just to tow someone from 6 feet away. So that's the stuff on my deck. Inside my cockpit, underneath my spray skirt, I have water, which I always have, and I have a first aid kit. If you want to know what's in my first aid kit, there's a video that I did. I'll put a link to it up there. So bow rudder strokes you need a little bit of speed for, so I'm going to do those first. I'm not a fan of the traditional bow rudder. I prefer the cross bow rudder. So traditional is like this. If the water's not dripping directly on your head, you're doing it wrong. I prefer the cross bow rudder. But the king of all turning strokes in a kayak is the sweep stroke. People generally don't keep their arms straight enough for it. On trips or on long paddle days, I do add some stuff. So in the cockpit, underneath my spray skirt, I have a first aid kit and water. On long days, I'm gonna have a bag of snacks and foods and stuff, and I'm also gonna have a VHF radio, and that's in a waterproof case. Now, some people will say I should be, on long days or on the ocean, I should be wearing that VHF radio. And that's a valid point. If I'm wearing it, if I were to get separated from my boat, I would be able to use it without having to build it or set it up. So that is a perfectly valid point, but I prefer to have it in there instead of up here. I've got a lot of stuff up here anyway. Up here, I have a bunch of other stuff. In there, I'll have like a power bar. I will also have my rescue whistle. I like the Fox 40 Classic. I throw in there the things I need immediate access to. So I'll have sunscreen in there. I may have a drink additive, something like Moon or Scratch Labs. Those are all really nice things to have and have them close by and handy. Okay, so that's what's in my boat. What's in your boat? Do you have all the stuff you need for when a day doesn't go as planned? Make sure you're out there having fun, but with a safety net. Make sure that if things don't go as planned, you still have a plan. You have a backup. You know what to do, and you're prepared to do it. And the only way to do that is to practice it. So I think next week, is going to be a rescues practice. So come on back. I'll see you then. Well, actually, I'll see you outside. Hey, one last thing. The music from today's video, actually the Adventure Otaku theme, No Preservations, and the music that was in today's video is by Ian B on Bandcamp, and he is awesome. If I can get him to write more music, I'm going to use more music. But if you need anything like that, check him out on Bandcamp.